All right. Speaking of bad writing, just what we were driving here, and Aaron played Rocket Man. I just want, so you'll know how to finish these lyrics. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them.
If you did.
If you did what?
Raise them?
Yeah.
I don't.
You just said it's no place to raise your kids. There's no one there to raise them if you raised them. Well, except you. What is it? Is that just Elton John doesn't know a life outside of the nanny system? It's like, oh man, Mars ain't the kind of place to have your nanny raise your kids for you. No. There's no nannies on Mars.
Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kid. In fact, it's cold as hell.
And there's no one
there to raise them.
If you did. ... If you raised your kids there.
Or if you did choose that lifestyle.
Or raise your kids. Mars ain't the kind of place to settle down and raise your kids.
Yeah.
No, still bad writing. Musicians, 6,000 years of getting away with bad writing and counting.
Wait,
because they bang on things while they do it.
There's a hand being raised out there. Do we...
If you dig?
If you dig?
Like, if you dig. Like, if he's saying...
Are you just guessing that?
That's what I always thought it was.
You always thought it was if you dig.
I always thought he was...
Someone look it up. Look up lyrics for us right now.
He was just saying, like, I mean, if you know what I mean, there's no one there to raise them.
If you dig.
If you dig. I mean...
There's no one there to raise them. If you dig.
You dig? He's just checking in.
I'll fucking give you...
It's the Elton John equivalent of, you know what I mean?
I'm going to give you a $10 bill if that's correct. $10 is yours, sir. If it's... Huh? Did. Thank you. We saved me $10.
There's a sea of iPhones.
If you dig. I wish that was it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's all right. Let's move on
to Crocodile Rock. Now this song, Crocodile Rock.
I get so mad at musicians because they get away with like stuff that I don't know. They're just kind of like they're so fancy and free with their goddamn lyrics. It seems like it's part of their success. Like people don't want my overwrought fucking meticulous bullshit in there when they're tapping their toes. People just write these songs that are like, they change tenses, they change like from first person to third person. I don't know who he is and who you are. Someone's stealing someone's girl. Who the fuck is, who are we?
I mean, I'm again, like as
no
usual, I might be getting this wrong, but I love the movie by The Who, Quadrophenia, and it's a great rainy day, depressing movie. And it's all the soundtrack, of course, is by The Who. And Sting is in it when he was young and not a complete twat. And he was great. He's in a silver suit. He looks great. And but they thought quadrophenia meant like, what if you had 4 personalities? They thought schizophrenia meant two personalities. and they're like, okay, yeah, we kind of.
I thought it was just a reference. I never saw that movie, and I just assumed it was like some kind of like product placement for the new speaker system or something. Yeah. Quadraphonics.
Well, I think that was the riff they're trying to do. I don't know. But rock and roll music. Lyrics shouldn't be looked at too closely.
Yeah, writers and musicians. Why can't they get along? You know, they do in like Christina Aguilera songs or something. Because those people that aren't singer-songwriters, they have like a nice 45-year-old man sit down and write a little ditty, hand it off to a young sexy urchin whose voice is good for 2 years, and then they go, I'm a genie in a bottle, rub it all, the metaphors all work. Oh, you rub me the right way, I'm a genie, and make a wish. I wish that the genie was happening. This is great. It's like William Goldman wrote this. He did. An old guy in a log cabin wrote that. He had A cups. Like he's not someone that you want to rub the right way. Well, guess what? Beauty's only skin deep.
Have we talked about?
We need to work together. Ugly people are smarter than you.
Have we talked about in the show a piano man? The regular crowd shuffles in. The man at the bar sitting next to me making love to his tonic and gin. No.
Gross.
No, you don't get to change the name of the drink to suit your purposes.
Oh, I thought you meant it was gross because it sounded like he coming in his drink.
Whoa. Yes. Making love to his tonic and gin. And there's Gary over there with his dick in a jar. And
you can see the strands floating to the top.
Yes. And he swizzles his drink with his balls and his stink, and the
janitor's getting him up. All right. We're getting played off by the ghost of Jebediah Nerdmelt. Get out of here! Your show doesn't have a script. It's terrible.
Great Barrett did that joke 20 years ago.
You've conditioned these people via systemic deprivation to applaud rhyming mop with whatever you rhymed it with. Other people have acts.
Tonic and gin. Like making love to his jelly and peanut butter. That's just lazy bullshit.
Yeah.
Also, the gambler. But I like Kenny Rogers a lot. I love Kenny Rogers. I met him when I was like 9 in Acapulco. So I love the guy. In the gambler, he rhymes sleep and keep twice. I think that's lazy bullshit. You don't do the same rhyme twice.
Well, how about he did the same song 4 times? Everybody saw the farmer with the magic peanut. Like,
wait, how is that the gambler?
Fucking, they're all just like. I don't know the musical terms, but I know the fucking guy just sits down and writes a fucking. Writes the Charge of the Light Brigade. The fucking like puts it to like. It's just about a guy. It's just like.
Can you sing me? I don't know. I don't know your knowledge of the Battle of Balaclava, or Alfred Lloyd Tennyson. Would you please do me a country version of the Charge of the Light Brigade right now?
Cannons to the left of them, cannons all around them. But the man with one leg came to town and said that he had found them on a misty river's country night. This character broke even. And that's the story of Kenny Rogers, of a guy named fucking Steven thing. It's always a guy. All right, I'm thinking of 2 songs, Coward of the County and The Gambler.
Yeah,
whatever.
Coward of the County is a good
But
one.
if we brought up a Kenny Rogers album, you'd see a bunch of failed attempts.
He started off in a psychedelic like hippie band called First Edition. First or second edition? First edition? It's like First edition. I did like just dropped in to see what condition my condition is, and that's him. And when he left that band, they're like, "You're never gonna make it, baby." Like he said, "No, I'm gonna make country music." Like, "You'll never make it." And he went off and wrote some of the biggest hits.
You know he's a Scientologist.
Is he?
A psych got you. You never know. Who would have thought Beck, you know? Who would have thought Will Smith?
Look, if I found out Kenny Rogers was a Scientologist, I would give Scientology a second glance.
Well, I don't want to bring this up again, but you should read that book, Going Clear. You come away from it with a respect for. You don't dehumanize people that are just because they're Scientologists anymore after reading that book.
I wouldn't either if I ever met a Scientologist who would sit down and explain what it is that they do, but it's so goddamn private.
Well, then read this book, Going Clear. It's like 700 pages.
I can't talk to a person that's
I don't know. Maybe you can. Well, yeah, you can. There's independent Scientologists. There's also that guy Marty Rathbun. We just watched a documentary about him. There's a lot of people that are raised on this religion. How much more ridiculous is anything? We've had Mormons on stage talking to us about Mormonism. We've had. I think we had a Jew once.